All right, hello everyone. Just a quick update here. Some big news coming out right now. It looks like we're sort of, kind of invading Venezuela. So President Trump is coming out a little later on today in order to make statements about it. Caroline Leavitt already came out to address the press a little earlier. President Trump is coming out within the next hour or two in order to have that discussion. So we've got Visioner saying here on X, big news, today at 2300 hours, Trump is due to make an emergency statement regarding Venezuela. According to insiders, Trump has already decided on strikes against narcotics cartel facilities on Venezuelan territory, and the targets required to carry out the plan have already been selected by the Pentagon. Notably, today a flight was conducted over the Caribbean Sea as a show of force by a pair of U.S. Air Force B-1 strategic bombers. At the same time, the Venezuelan armed forces are placing their air defense units on full combat alert. These units are already in combat positions and will attempt to intercept and counter American missiles, bombs, and aircraft. From a broadly logical perspective, after Trump sanctioned the major Russian oil companies that were heavily involved in selling oil to the West, the fastest and most effective way to fill that shortfall would be Venezuelan oil reserves. But supplying the West from those reserves would only be possible after the overthrow of Maduro's dictatorial regime in Venezuela. Therefore, the coming hours and days in the Caribbean region may be very tense. So here's some of the photos here. So here's some of the B-1 fighters. Is it? Yeah, B-1 strategic bombers with their escorts. This is Venezuela setting up anti-air defenses right here and here on the coastline, on coastal areas. Here's some more. And they've been putting up pictures of those actions as well. So we also have the Patriot Oasis. President Trump just dropped an epic truth nuke on the Venezuelan drug cartels. They have faster boats. Some of the boats are seriously world-class speedboats, but they're not faster than missiles, he says.
In fact, I don't know about the fishing industry. If you want to go fishing, a lot of people aren't deciding to even go fishing. We've almost totally stopped it by sea. Now we'll have...
Now, the reason he was saying that was because the left media is trying to say that they were fishing boats, not drug boats. But, you know, they're fast boats with like 5 engines on there. Those aren't fishing vessels. ICE taking down a Venezuelan fugitive illegal wanted for murder in his home country. So two U.S. Air Force B-1B Lancer strategic bombers are actively conducting a live patrol over the Caribbean Sea with flight paths indicating a trajectory towards Venezuelan airspace. This operation appears to be part of an escalating U.S. military presence in the region, framed officially as counter-narcotics enforcement, been widely interpreted as a show of force against the Nicolas Maduro regime in Venezuela. Trump sends a final warning, and then there's the video there for illustration of the bombers. So some impressive things. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. This is probably due to get regime change and have a more pro-American leader take over. Now, Maduro is a socialist communist dictator. The guy's a scumbag, and he's running the country with an iron fist. There's that. But we can't also go around and take over every country because, you know, if we're going to get rid of every dictator or every bad guy that's running a country to the detriment of his people, then we're going after China, we're going after Russia, we're moving into African continents, and you know, that's a slippery slope. So this one, I think that it is correct that the drug enforcement has been a catalyst for all of that, in my opinion. I'm a Trump fan, but I don't lie to my listeners on this show. We're going to be honest with each other. I'm going to be honest with you, and whether either one of us likes it or not. And the truth of the matter seems to be here, because I've tried to think about, you know, is he a bad guy? Is he harming his citizens? Is he running Venezuela into the ground? Sure. But also, what does that have to do with the United States of America? And the answer is really nothing. If you make the argument that, well, we're concerned about the drugs that are coming from Venezuela, okay, but there's drugs coming from China and there's drugs coming from Mexico, so when are we invading those two countries as well? There's cartels in Mexico. Why aren't we going after the cartels in Mexico? Why don't we just go, if we don't give a fuck about their sovereignty in the country, which we don't, if we're going after cartel buildings in Venezuela and their structures and strongholds, You are flying into Venezuelan territory in order to do that. You're violating their airspace. That's an act of war. So if we don't give a shit about their sovereignty, then using that logic, we could fly into Mexico and take out the cartels as well. But we're not doing that. So when you apply logic to this and break the whole thing down, it looks like we're trying to get to strategic oil reserves. We need a pro-American leader. There is one that's, and I forget his name, there's one that's already supposed to be in charge of Venezuela. And he got screwed over during the election by Maduro and kind of forced out and put into exile. And that's the reason you don't have him. Yeah, it's only saying Maduro, but there was another guy. He was at the other guy that's supposed to be the leader of Venezuela. He was at Trump's State of the Union address in his first term. He was actually a special guest there, and they were talking about, what could they do to get him to his rightful seat, because he basically they cheated, they forced him out, and then it was kind of a coup, and Maduro took over. But again, let me see here with the Maduro sworn in for third term after contested elections. So the opposition leader was Maria Corina Machado, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. This was a man. So Maduro was declared the winner of July's presidential election by the official electoral commission. The opposition in many countries, including the U.S., had rejected the result and recognized opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez as the legitimate president-elect. So that's the guy that's in exile and is on the run and was in the United States at one point. Edmundo Gonzalez is supposed to be the leader of Venezuela. Gonzalez fled Venezuela in September and has been living in Spain. This was a couple of years back. But this month he went on a tour of the Americas to rally international support. The Maduro government has issued an arrest warrant for him, offering $100,000 or $81,755 in their pesos or whatever reward for information leading to his detention. It comes as Maduro was declared the winner of July's presidential election by Venezuela's National Electoral Council, which is closely aligned with the government. So it's, he's an illegitimate leader, but that doesn't necessarily mean we start blowing countries up, right? This is their own internal affairs to clean up. So I mean, it looks like we're making a push here to get rid of a dictator and get a pro-American, kind of global leader in Venezuela that will be easier to deal with and won't be doing business with our adversaries, kind of China, Russia, that network, and will be more willing to sell oil at a cheaper price overall to the United States than they are currently when they're probably overcharging us. So it's like, should we just go around taking over countries and doing shit? Not really. Do I also want cheap gas? Yes, I do. And I really don't give a fuck about Venezuela or their leader. So, I mean, if you want to blow some shit up, as long as at the end of the day, I'm getting cheap gas, I don't care if we blow Venezuela up. I guess that's my overall message. Other than that, it's a catch-22, just going in and being like, hey, we don't like how things are going on in there, so we're just going to fuck you all up. But that seems to be the case. So you're looking for announcements to be made within the next hour or two, and I think you're looking to see things ramp up in Venezuela as far as U.S. interdiction in there. So just wanted to get that update out there. A lot of people are starting to talk about this today, and we're going to see what it turns into. But right now it appears that all the appearances are that bombers are going to be sent in to take out drug locations. But in the meantime, the military is going to be firing on American forces as they come into Venezuelan territory. So now you're fighting the cartels plus the Venezuelan military, because now potentially you're knocking out their surface-to-air defenses as well. So this is going to be like a weird triangle. It's like a circle, but it's, the military is protecting the drug cartels. We're going after the drug cartels, and in order to have to do that, we have to get through Maduro and his military. So now we're just going to fight like all of Venezuela at this point. I mean, there's no reason to just keep splitting hairs in this particular situation. So let's see if that's going to end up in a regime change. I know this is dangerous ground to tread on, and we're doing it kind of blatantly, really. I know we're saying we're trying to stop the drug trade, but like, there's drugs in Mexico and China too. Are we gonna blow the shit out of them as well? Are we gonna blow shit up? Like, I doubt it. I doubt we're going into Mexico and China. So, and how much oil does Mexico have? How much oil does China have? They're buying from other countries. So, unfortunately, this is what it is. But I want Americans put in harm's way? No, I do not. I'm not a serviceman. I haven't served. I'm not going to say, well, just go do my dirty work for me. I don't want service people. This is going to put pilots in harm's way. The people that are in the ships, that's putting them in harm's way. I don't want that. But also, I'm not being called to make a military choice here. So if this is happening one way or the other, yes, I would like cheap gas, please, or potentially free gas. That would be awesome. Like a gas card, and we get bonuses every month because we're getting it super cheap from Venezuela. So we get like $100 a month free or something. 100% blow Maduro up. All right, that's the update I've got for today, and I'll have more coming throughout the week because a whole bunch of stuff is happening. This is just the newest thing that's about to blow up today, all right? Please like, share, and support. Subscribe to the show. Like the show. That really helps me out, and it helps with the algorithm. Subscribe as well, please, so we have more followers, and we can start raising up the show more. And I appreciate all the new people we've been getting on all three platforms, all four platforms. We're on Twitches now as well. All right, thanks, everyone, and I'll talk to you again soon.